What's going on, man? Watch the Mystics Nation. Mystics week one in the books, 1-1 for the first week. They get a season opening win in Toronto, 68-65, and then drop a tough one against the New York Liberty at home in a game where I think it was pretty clear that there was two terrible calls at the end of that game that had a direct impact on the game. That said, shooting was an issue from the perimeter in that game as well. All that being said, you can't complain really about how they did that first week of the season, going 1-1 with this tremendously young team. And now they travel to Indiana tomorrow night to face the Indiana Fever in a game against Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Leah Boston, but a game that is very, very winnable for the Washington Mystics because they do have distinct advantages in this matchup. And we're going to talk about that as well as how they looked the first week. You can't really complain, but let's hit the intro. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Washington Mystics Unfiltered. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Showmont. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Leave your comments, man. Want to grow this Washington Mystics channel to be the best Washington Mystics channel there is. We've already broken 250 subscribers. I know it's a small community, but we want to grow this and be the number one stop for y'all to check out Washington Mystics updates. Right now, if you look at the power rankings in the WNBA, they got the Washington Mystics at number 8 in the power rankings after starting off at number 11. So they've already impressed some people, and they've jumped up to number 8 after starting off at 11 with the win over the Toronto Temple on the road and the fight they gave the New York Liberty at home. And you got a team right now that's got some good points, got some stuff they got to work on. Sonia Citron currently leads the team in scoring with 21.5 points per game. Shakira Austin's averaging 17. Kiki Irfin's averaging 16. And then you have a significant drop-off. Then you have a significant scoring drop-off. You got a three-headed monster, and you need other players to step up. You're still without Cody McMahon, who is dealing with a partially torn UCL. Again, I don't know what the update is right now. Let me see if I get an update on Cody McMahon because I just don't think she's going to be available until probably June. They don't even have an update here for 7 days. Like, I don't even know what they're. One thing I tell you, between covering the Indiana Fever and covering Washington Mystics basketball, you get a lot more news on the Indiana Fever real fast than you do on the Washington Mystics. I mean, you got to dig for this stuff, and you're sitting here right now a week later, and you still have no update whatsoever. So she's going to be out for the foreseeable future. And so another thing, Kiki Irfin has been dominant on the glass, averaging 14 rebounds a game. Shakira Austin's averaging 10.5 boards a game. And they that three-headed monster looks good right now. You got a nice point guard tandem with Georgia Amore and Rory Harmon coming off the bench, finishing games with her relentless defense. Harmon's leading the team with 2 steals per game, and right now they're averaging about 80 points a game. That needs to move up. Obviously, that first game was a significant one in terms of the amount of points they didn't score in that game with only 68 points in the first game. Citron and if you're shooting over 54% from the field, Shakira Austin's at 46%, and then the rest of the team is sub 40. So they need better production from everyone else. I'd like to see more from Lauren Betts. I want to see Lauren Betts get more opportunity. She's averaging 3.5 points through 2 games. You got 5 out of Cassandra Prosser, 6.5 from Georgia Amore. Amore is getting restricted minutes, they say, because of her ACL injury from last year. I think that's a little bit much. You should be playing her. You don't need to give minutes restrictions on a torn ACL when it's already healed. I think that's a mistake if that's how you're operating, because you can also create, some mental barriers on stuff like that, especially when it comes down to the fact that she's not playing late in games. Now, Can you really complain about how they've looked? I mean, they're going to be inconsistent. They're a young team. They got 10 rookies and second year players. Very young team. They got a lot of work to do. They're going to have ups and downs. Coach Sidney Johnson said flat out, "You're not going to bully us," and I believe that they're not being bullied, and that's obviously a very very good thing. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting. They're going to battle, 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 and they're going to be a fun team to watch. Teams like this are typically fun to watch because you don't know what you're going to get. Like you have no idea what you're getting here. You're seeing the emergence of players and them stepping up into new roles. I mean, Kiki Iriafen looks fantastic in my opinion, averaging 16 and 14. Like if she's doing that, she's an all WNBA player, straight up and down. If she goes 16, I mean, look, she's not going to average 16 and 14 for the season, but if she's averaging somewhere in that 16 and 12 range, she's an all WNBA player, at least second team. So I think that's really, really good to see. She's really learned how to, clean the glass up and so forth. Now you're looking at um Citrone. Citrone, she's the best shooter on the team. She's the best perimeter shooter. She's really the only real legit perimeter shooter. They need her to shoot at a high clip from three. In their second game, not good, 0 of 6 from three. First game was solid. Second game was not so good. So you need her to hit. You need her to hit at a higher clip from 3-point range. Um, and then at the same time, I think they have to take some chances and play to their physical advantages. And their physical advantages would be to play big. Play big. I want to see some big lineups out there. I want to see lineups with Lauren Betts, with Shakira Austin and Irifin on the court together, with Kiki playing the three. Or hell, playing the four and let Shakira play the three because she's a lanky, long player and does like to shoot from the perimeter a little bit and has a strong dribble drive to the rim, while also letting Lauren Betts get some time with them and really just going huge because their shooting is poor. Right now they're shooting 20% from 3-point range for the season. And they need obviously that's a problem. They're shooting 41% from the field overall. Lauren Bess has got to get more touches around the rim. I think they need to get her involved a lot earlier in the game. As soon as she comes in the game, she get ball. As soon as she comes into the game, she should get a touch on the post. Get her the ball on the block and let her go to work. And you saw what she could do against the Liberty. She did a really, really good job in that game. Obviously, not so much versus Toronto, but against the Liberty, she did a really, really good job. Now, looking at this game against the Indiana Fever tomorrow night, we will be live, covering this on all three of our channels, Washington Mystics Unfiltered, Indiana Fever Unfiltered, and Come On Now, the podcast. So do jump on board with us. We do appreciate y'all support. But looking at this game, this is a road game. So obviously road games are always going to be a little bit more tough. The crowd's against you. However, I can tell you this. There is a size difference that Washington has over Indiana, and it is significant in nature. I think you're going to see more Lauren Betts because her size is going to be a problem for Indiana. You run a big lineup against Indiana, you're going to clean the glass. Indiana's rebounding is not good. As you know, I cover Indiana and I cover Caitlin Clark, and I've been voicing how much of an issue it is to watch this team try to, without their size. They have no size. And if you can get Aaliyah Boston into foul trouble early, there's a real size issue. Huge issue for the Indiana Fever. Now, perimeter, they have to defend. I mean, the Mystics have got to defend, and that's going to be really, really important. So, the perimeter, with the perimeter, you're gonna. I mean, I think Rory Harmon's gonna get a lot of minutes. I think Rory Harmon's gonna be put on Caitlin Clark to really disturb the ball handling up the court. I think it's gonna be really interesting when Lucy Olson comes into the game for the Mystics because the Iowa connection. Even though they didn't play together at Iowa, there is that Iowa connection between Lucy Olson and Caitlin Clark. But I do think Rory Harmon's gonna see a lot of time and a lot of time guarding. Um, heck, even Kelsey Mitchell, putting her on Kelsey Mitchell as well. But I think the advantage comes on with Clark for the Fever, not for the Fever, for the Mystics because she's very tough to guard, and that I think will make the Fever take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands a bit. So that would be something that if I'm the Mystics, I'm looking to do. You got Cassandra Prosper, you got Amore needs to hit some perimeter shots. She did a good job passing the ball, but she has got to hit some perimeter shots. And Angela Dugalich off the bench, she's been solid. Alex Wilson has been solid, but again, she has to make jump shots from the perimeter for this team because she's one of the people that can supposedly shoot the basketball. But I am looking forward to seeing this matchup. I think the guard matchups are going to be very, very interesting. Sonia Citron, I expect Sonia Citron to have a big day. Seriously, I expect her to go for at least 20 in this game. She'll be guarded by the likes of Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham, and she's a mismatch for them. Like she's just much better than they are. Now, again, this is an example of a game where you want to see Sonia Citron. If you're the Washington Mystics, you want to see her stepping up her shots. She's averaging 12 shots a game. You need to see her shooting the ball 15 times. She needs to be that. She needs to find that elevation in her game and elevate herself. And it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's a mentality shift as a player who's been a third option, second option, now largely looking like the first option. And in my opinion, and she needs to make that difference. So it's going to be a different type of game. And it definitely be different for me to watch these two teams play since I'm covering both of them now. But it's an exciting matchup. It's an early season matchup. The Fever's coming off of a win on the road. They had a quick turnaround to get back to Indiana. Stephanie White voiced that concern, and the Mystics have been off for 5 days. So rest, rehab, and practice time have been big for the Mystics. This has been a great opportunity for them because with all that time off, you're going to have plenty of time to. They've had plenty of time to get their stuff together, and it's something to look out for. When you look at again, it's hard with the Mystics because they don't put a whole lot of stuff online. I mean, it's really kind of slow. But let me pop this video up for you and some commentary from Shakira Austin and Coach Sidney Johnson on the matchup with the Indiana Fever that's coming up tomorrow night. Let's take a listen right here. So let's take a listen as to what Coach Sidney Johnson had to say about this game against the Indiana Fever tomorrow night. Let's take a listen.
I think just, making sure we are who we are on the road as much as we are who we are in the gym. I think that's it. Like, just good teams travel well and maintain their identity. And, that's what we aspire to be. And so we're stacking really good days as individually in terms of our player development, growth as a team. And then obviously you have those times to perform. And that's now on the road. And so we just want to make sure we recognize ourselves when we're playing.
Stylistically, Indiana, what have you seen from this iteration of the Fever?
Really good, right? I mean, AB and Caitlin are a tremendous duo. Kelsey Mitchell, every time she shoots the ball, I think it's going in. I mean, they're a serious team offensively. Play really, really hard defensively. So, very much like what we saw last year when they were healthy.
What did you like most about the energy of practice today?
Just that, look, we obviously want to win more than we lose. There's no question about that. But, each day we got to take it seriously and, again, try to get better, improve, have the joy for what we're doing. And that was all readily apparent today. So just happy with where we've been so far. And, 2 games in, and we want to carry that for 44.
So there's Sidney Johnson talking about the Indiana Fever game tomorrow night. Again, we will be live tomorrow night on our 3 channels. So do check us out. We appreciate you. But yeah, this is a team that's on the rise, and I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. So be sure to check everything out right here. Washington Mystics Unfiltered. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell and leave your comments. Let us know your thoughts of the content. We appreciate you. We thank y'all. This is Washington Mystics Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.